Hey, DVC fan, and welcome to this special episode of the DVC show. We are here. We are at the villas at Disneyland Hotel, and it's been a long day.
It has, but it's really surreal because you see all the concept art
It's
and
been
all
a
the
long
posts
day.
and stuff. And
Just
falls.
making sure everything's working. Yeah.
But it's just surreal to see the building and everything in person after seeing, and it looks almost exactly like all the concept art and stuff. Not the older stuff, but the like newer stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's crazy that nowadays concept art and everything has gotten so good that it really looks exactly how we kind of expected it to look. So, welcome. This is a special live stream edition of the DVC show, exclusive for our DVC fan Patreon community here on the grand opening day of the villas at Disneyland Hotel. So, first and foremost, thank you to everyone that is watching the live stream. I know we've got people in the comments. Mike said hi from Minnesota. Hi, Mike from Minnesota. Thank you all, first and foremost, for your support on Patreon. We hope you've been enjoying a lot of the early content that we've been putting on there and a lot of the exclusive content that we've shared. You've been the one sharing all of that. I've been the YouTube guy today, and Amy's been kind of the Patreon and social media queen.
Yeah, it's been a little busy, and at one point we were just, I didn't know where you went, and you were I was out in the pool area trying to get some footage, and he was in the lobby, and we eventually ran back into each other. So
yeah, we've split up a couple times and gone our separate directions. We know what our objectives are and what we had to do, and I feel like I'm ahead of schedule at the moment. We've already got our Duo Studio tour up on YouTube, our Deluxe Studio tour up on YouTube. We did a resort tour of the Disneyland Hotel yesterday that is up on YouTube. We are going to finish up kind of like a vlog style video of just our day. So hopefully that'll be up by tomorrow morning at some point. We also will do kind of just a general resort tour as well of the villas itself. And then tomorrow we've got to do a 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom, I believe. I don't know if do they have a lock off or
they have a 2 bedroom. So yeah, so for at least a 2 bedroom. We are also going to the open house tomorrow, so
Yeah.
we're gonna see whatever they show there. Unfortunately, originally the open house the purpose was to see the Grand Villa.
Yeah.
We don't know if they just sold it at the last minute or what, but they took
Someone
it.
had enough
Yeah.
points and they took it. So unfortunately, we are doing the not the Grand Villa, but we are doing the open house tomorrow afternoon. But we hope we will probably not see the Grand Villa, so we've been told. But it has been a whirlwind day. But this video, for those of you that are in our Patreon community, is exclusive tonight. So please put your questions about the villas in the comments. We'll try to get to as many of them as possible over the next hour. We're also going to just kind of discuss what our day's been like, what it's been like being a part of the grand opening of a new Disney Vacation Club resort. And then this video will actually go up. So hello to all of the people that are not on our Patreon. We would love for you to join us in the future, but you are listening to this now as the Monday edition of the DVC show for the week following the grand opening. So you get to hear all about it as well. But if you want some of this behind the scenes stuff, we would love for you to join us in our Patreon community, patreon.com/DVC fan. But enough of talking about that, because you guys that are listening right now are our patrons, and so we're going to tell you kind of about our day, which started off down the road at the Westin, which I know you posted about, but the Westin is gorgeous if you don't have points available and kind of want to come to Disneyland.
Yeah, so I put a quick room tour in Patreon this morning. I meant to put it in there yesterday. It just took me a while to get it to load. My phone wasn't, I don't know, connecting. But super impressed with that, and I know it's not related to this, but if you're out of points, if you can't get into Grand Cal or Disneyland Villas, if you don't want to waste your points, like you're coming in late, and when we come in late, we usually don't use our points. We'll stay a night somewhere else. Just a great option, the Westin. We are so impressed with that resort. It was gorgeous. It was new and shiny and pretty and just immaculate, and honestly just very luxury, based. Prices are going to be significantly cheaper than cash prices at Disneyland, but they were into like the $2 to $3 to even $400 range into some of the theme park rooms. We actually booked with Marriott points. And so we didn't pay cash. We booked just like a basic king room.
King standard, like no view, essentially.
No view, yeah. So which would be like in the like $200 to $300 range, so like a Disney moderate resort range. And because we have a Bonvoy Marriott card, Paul is platinum with Marriott. And so because of that, they upgraded us to a theme park view. We had an amazing view of DCA, and it was
I don't know if you know this, but I woke up, it was around 9 o'clock last night, and I could see World of Color out the window.
Oh my goodness.
So our jet lag hit severe. So when we left Florida, we left our house at 2:30 a.m. on Wednesday for a 5:30 flight out of Tampa, and then we ended up going from there to Denver, and then Denver to Anaheim. We flew into Orange County, and then we got our Uber, and then checked into the Westin, and came over here. We did a resort tour. We got some food over at Disney. I always want to say Disney Springs, but it's downtown Disney. Walked around the Grand Californian for a little while, and then walked back through here just to see if there was anything else exciting happening, and then went back. It was like an 18-hour day.
Yeah,
or something.
We fell asleep at 8 p.m.
Yeah,
West Coast time, but still, I mean, it was.
And we slept straight through. Most people say don't do that because it's like it's not going to be good for your jet lag, but we slept straight through until 6:30, 7 in the morning, which is our normal wake up time. So we were totally ready for that. Sheila, you live in Tampa as well. That's awesome. We live basically in the Lakeland area. So a lot of people say my boss tells me I live in South Florida all the time since we're not like in the Orlando area. But I love the Tampa area. love the Lakeland area as well. And yes, I will. For the audio listeners out there, what I'm about to do is not going to make any sense, but Sheila has asked if I will pull down the Murphy bed behind us. So while I look like I struggle back here, Amy's going to keep talking.
I am. So two comments that came through a little bit ago, and forgive me if I say your name wrong, under the name or alias Jay Ware said Amy rocking the merch. And there's the Murphy bed. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so this is, I'm like opposite side here because I'm looking at the computer. But this is one of the new hoodies. This has Disneyland Villas on it. It also says it on the back. We also show it in a video that's upcoming too, along with all the merch that is in the store related to the villas. And then someone else commented on what Paul was drinking out of, and that was Vocal Jazz Fan. Oh, you like jazz?
Oh, yes, Vocal Jazz Fan. Let's go. No one really knows this, but in my spare time, I listen to a lot of Barbershop Quartet, the Barbershop Society. I listen to the World Championships or the finals every year. Amy just walks away and thinks I'm weird, but she's in the other room playing the banjo. So I mean, I guess to each their own.
Right. And Paul also used to play saxophone. But anyway, so they commented on this, that Paul is drinking some coffee or something out of. This is one of the gifts. So everyone who stayed tonight got some gifts.
Yeah. So two corksicle, basically mugs.
They are corksicles, and so that's such a nice gift. And we didn't get anything when we stayed at the Big Pine Key the first night. So
chop liver.
This was very special, and there was also some chocolates and some cookies. And
something we didn't know about either is that they did come out with a custom Joffrey's blend. I do not know. Someone in the chat has to tell me, and go to joffreys.com right now. Tell me if this is available already or if this is like just something special. But they did come out with a Joffrey's, the Villas at Disneyland Hotel blend of coffee. So we got a pound of that coffee as well. as Amy said, we got some chocolates, we got some other treats and everything like that. And then you showed off your hoodie. We went merch crazy in the merch store because it is we all know this. It is the number one complaint we always have as Disney Vacation Club members. Put something that says Disney Vacation Club on something, and we will buy it.
Yeah,
and we will
that
buy
has the resort name.
Resort name.
People want, you know, to wear something like a piece that they own. We don't own Disneyland Villas, but we're here and we're happy to be here for the opening. But I also bought this same thing in Grand Cal, which we do own. So I was excited to find it at the gift shop in Grand Cal. That said Grand Cal Villas on it. So,
and Dennis has confirmed Joffrey's has it for $14.99 right now. Joffrey's, you're welcome for that free ad. So $14.99.
Did you try it? Is that what you're drinking? No, it's not open yet.
No, I'm drinking some random.
We don't know if it's any good. Like it could.
We don't know. Yeah, give me a week or two. I'm very particular about my coffee game. I've got the whole pour over set up at home and all that kind of stuff. So I will let you know what I actually think about the Disneyland Hotel, but. Amy got you bought this after I bought this, so I actually bought this first. So.
Yeah, I didn't know what you were buying. I just saw you grabbing things.
Bought everything. There's nothing, I'm pretty sure.
So I didn't know we were going to be matching.
Yeah, I didn't buy the purse. I bought a pin. You bought 2 more pins. We bought a magnet. There's a shirt, which is in a bag over there somewhere, like a nice tan shirt that says the Villas at Disneyland Hotel on it that we ended up getting. We ended up getting the Turvis that they had as well. I'm not a big Turvis guy, but the colors of it were great.
It is. The colors in this whole resort are so pretty. It's just so colorful. That is one of the things that I really love about it. And what I think it's all based on, so those of you that have seen pictures of it, you've seen the outside, and it's really recognizable because of those, I don't know what they are. They're like bands of colors that are going down the sides of the building. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize this until we were walking around and we were in this outdoor area, and under those bands are some signs, and it shows that each of the 3 on the one side that we were standing on were actually what they were representing certain movies. So I used to look at this company that I can't remember what it was called, but basically what they would do is they would take any movie and they would condense the frames down.
I think we looked it up earlier. It was it's called like the color palette of the movie or something.
I think it was called a movie palette.
Movie palette.
We might be wrong on that. We looked up.
Put it down in the comments. It's been a long day for us.
Anyway, basically it's like condensing the frames of a movie into something that just represents one color. So you can actually go, there's websites that make these things, and it's just like a piece of artwork that's all these strips of colors, and it's an actual movie. So it's like, this is Jurassic Park. And if you really look, you're like, oh, that reminds me of Jurassic Park, like those colors. And so that's what is on the sides of these buildings. Those strips of colors that are going down are representing different movies, and it tells you on the outside what they are. So one of them was Frozen, one was Mulan, and what was the one in the middle? Was it the Jungle Book?
I want to say it was the Jungle Book, which kind of follows some of the theming that was here. So, and Mike in the chat said it's called a From, which I did go.
From is the website that I used to look at all the time.
From is the website.
Those are expensive.
Yeah, but you can get it on a canvas. You can get it on a phone case. I just got a new phone case.
They literally sell any movie that you could think of. So it's just kind of a cool piece of artwork, and it's like a conversation piece that you would have in your house. But that seems to be kind of the mindset of what the villas, like the color schemes, and throughout the villas, in the hallways, there'll be like a photo from a Disney movie, and then they'll have the color palette up, like the color, I don't know, pieces.
Yeah, what I thought was so creative about it is like the colors on the side of the building, like that's great. That's definitely like an accent wall or an accent piece of the building. But then to learn that, and not only learn that, but they have that little diagram down at the bottom of it that shows you not only the colors in the order, which they are in order, but the black space, those gaps, and how that's why there are wider gaps in certain areas and thinner gaps in others.
Right.
And it's like when you think about that level of detail to the artistic aspect of this resort, it really just makes it something even more special. So, yeah.
Yeah. And you can also see it like in the carpeting. They have like the color lines, and behind us in this thing, this lit up behind the bed, it's the same concept. So I don't know, that's really cool. It's just something different that they haven't done with a resort before.
Yeah. So let's talk about the day a little bit, just kind of the voyage that we've been on here as part of a grand opening. First off, just so that everyone knows, we were not invited by Disney or anything like that.
No, we are but poppers.
We are but poppers in the
Peasants.
DVC fan space. And so, when it came out that this was opening weekend, we booked it on cash. So we are here for 2 nights in this deluxe studio on cash. And so we will give you our honest, raw reviews of what we think of this place. But we definitely wanted to cover it for DVC Fan, for all of the world of DVC companies as well. So that's what we've been doing all day. We got up around 7, made our way here around 8 a.m. and there was already a line of cars kind of trickling into the Disneyland Hotel. So you do check in at the same place that you always check in for the Disneyland Hotel, so the main building or the fantasy tower of the resort. And then first and foremost, we were met with all kinds of balloons. There were balloons everywhere. And
I don't know. I think the balloons were definitely for the grand opening. Yeah. The big carpet that represented the 100th. Yeah, that's been there. But it was just really cool looking, to have like the balloons and the big carpet. I felt like we were like walking down like a red carpet, even though it wasn't red.
Yeah.
It was just pretty.
It was so pretty. And shout out to all of the cast members that we've experienced, from the bellman, from the person that even helped us out of the Uber when we arrived here, to the front desk experience. Both yesterday, we noticed it early on, but the cast members are definitely very excited about this. And in checking in, when I was talking to the lady at the front desk, she was saying, we always hear about this because it happens out at Walt Disney World, but for this to happen in our own backyard here in Disneyland, it's something special. It's the same that many of you are Californians, or people out on the West Coast, and they're like, bring us more West Coast content, and bring us all of that. And everyone is just so excited here around the resort, and it's been buzzing.
Yes, and we've always noticed, and Jay Ware said in the comments that the Disneyland Hotel cast members are always very nice. They are. And today they are super, super nice. Yeah. Like they've always been great. At the whole Disneyland resort, we've always experienced great service. But today is just like ultra level of service, which is understandable. There were executives and tons of people just, all over the place today. But yeah, it's been interesting, to experience.
We got all checked in. At that point in time, they told us 2 o'clock would be the time period that we would be allowed into the villas, and 4 o'clock would be the time in which we would be allowed into the rooms. And that kind of stayed fairly consistent with what happened as the day progressed. So we kind of knew right off that we were not going to be let in early. We had about 2.5 hours to kill until the grand opening celebration occurred. So we wandered down to the Fantasia gift shop right as I think it was opening. Like, I remember looking in the gate, and the gate was down, and then it was up, and we walk in, and we'd been in there yesterday. We did a whole resort tour and everything, and I'm walking, and I don't think you were expecting merch, but I saw something different, and I was like, oh, gotta go over there.
Even the cast member was like, oh, you're just like focused on that. It was.
Yeah, I was beelining for the merch because we wanted to make sure that we got what we wanted, and we did. And we've got pictures and video of everything that'll go up in some of our other videos in the current days. But so yeah, we spent a small fortune on merch.
Yeah, and they had some decent stuff. My only things that I wish that they had, a couple of people said they wish there was a Loungefly, which I'm surprised, because people love those. And I would have loved a Spirit jersey. I would love to see more resort-specific Spirit jerseys.
A Spirit jersey. I'm a mug and cup person, so this was the thing that I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get. So I was super excited when it was in the room. Sheila asked here in the comments whether or not this would be available for sale to members in the coming months, days, weeks. I don't know the answer to that question, unfortunately, Sheila. I hope so, because it's beautiful. It is beautiful. It is iridescent. It has this is my new coffee mug. I get a new coffee mug like every week.
Right, and it's a corksicle, so it's insulated, right?
Insulated corksicle. So whether or not you're feeling coffee that day, or if you want to have a soda or something in the afternoon, I don't know. I'm very happy, and I've only, I think, had caffeine today. I've had a small bottle of water, so it's been a caffeine-filled day. So if I'm a little bit jittery, that's why. And we haven't had dinner. So
I am hungry.
We're kind of hungry.
And cold. We're not used to this. It's 69 outside. Like, I'm gonna have to put pants on before we go. I mean, I'm wearing shorts, but it's cold.
Yeah. Sheila asked, how was check-in? Since everyone was checking in at 4 p.m., how long did it take? We'll get to that as the day progresses here in our story. But yeah, check-in was a very seamless process, similar to if you are, a DVC member at any other Walt Disney World resort. We did the online check-in, or I don't know if you knew that I did that. I did the online.
Didn't know that.
I did the online check-in last night. You go through, put a credit card on file, fill out all of the information, set it up for texts and all that kind of fun stuff. But did that last night, and when I got to the front desk already had that information. So I literally just showed them my ID. They ran through, made sure that everything that I had given them previously was correct in terms of phone number, credit card that I wanted to use, and then they ended up giving us, I totally forgot about that. They ended up giving us a map of the resort that I have, trying to save it and stay safe so that I can scan it when I get home. And then they gave us commemorative opening weekend keys,
and they say opening weekend on them. So that was really cute. Oh, you found one.
Found one in my pocket. So there it is. The Villas at Disneyland Hotel opening weekend keys. We ended up getting at the front desk as well. So checked in, we went and bought $1 million of merch, and then we started our way through the resort back towards where the villas are. We knew that there's a little campfire area or fireplace area that's right outside of Trader Sam's. And so in our mind, we kind of were planning to head in that direction and see what was going on. We knew from last night in looking at the setup of the opening celebration that it was going to be basically press and then cast members and executives that were invited to that. So it was a credentialed event, but I will remember the butterflies that I got when we were walking over the bridge and I started hearing the Welcome Home song. That song has not been, I feel like I've not really taken to that song.
Yeah. To us, it's always felt a little cheesy. I know some people say that it tears them up, and I get it. It's like...
I get it now more than ever because I've had two emotional experiences with it. The first was on the member cruise when they were playing it on the member cruise. And I was like, okay, I feel very special to be a Disney Vacation Club member. But to be walking over the bridge, and I'm just thinking oh, they're playing ambient music. They're just psyching people up for the day ahead. No, the original artist, and it was the same... the vocalist that sang was the same that was on the member cruise that played Nala in
Oh, that's who that was?
That is who
oh my
sang it
goodness.
today.
I loved her.
She was wonderful.
She was in Disney Princess the concert.
She was in the Princess concert.
Yeah, she sang, what was the song? What is the song? Shadowland?
She did sing Shadowland from The Lion King.
Yeah, from the musical. Oh, it was so good.
So walk across the bridge and you can kind of peek through the fence there and could see that she was singing live on stage at that moment. So that was probably one of the bigger moments that I'll remember from this grand opening.
And that was just a practice. They were just practicing in the morning.
That was just the practice. So we went down to that little fireplace area and found a comfy chair and just sat outside the gate where they were letting people in because we could sort of see what was going on from around there. And you'll see all of this in the vlog that we did. But Ended up watching them kind of go through the rehearsal process of
Multiple
the
times.
live stream
Yeah.
multiple times, at least 2 or 3 times. I've said this on everything so far, but the cups were my favorite part.
Yeah, they didn't want to like blow all their streamers out at once, so they were filling the cannons with coffee cups and shooting them out. And because they used them multiple times,
Yeah.
they shot them out. They did that countdown multiple
It
times.
was also hilarious, like, because obviously it was a technical rehearsal, so they would stop at points, and you would hear like the producer kind of say something, and at one point he goes, "Okay, we're gonna reset the countdown, and we're gonna do it with 2 cups this time." It was just. No one expected it the first time through either, and you saw like a couple coffee cups just come up in the air and back down, and everyone was laughing. Like, I think even the people on stage, but it was cool to kind of see them go through that technical rehearsal. Throughout that, we kind of just wandered around a little bit, and then ended up going over to the terrace. So,
Yeah. I can never remember the name. Tangaroa or Tangaroa?
Terrace.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
to ask like a million times. What
Yeah,
is it
so
called?
we went to Tangaroa Terrace, which is connected to where Trader Sam's is, and the little patio area there, part of which is just reopened. I'm not quite sure how much of it was there before and what part of it is new, but there is a nice patio area there, and from that vantage point, which is a little bit higher, we could actually see into the grand opening celebration a little bit better. And that's where we spent the better part of the next few hours as we counted down the time, and saw all kinds of people walking around. Saw Bill Dirksen walking around, and all kinds of other executives and cast members. They brought most of the cast members I know from the front desk. Obviously, they kept people there that needed to be there, but
Yeah.
they had the front desk cast members. They had mousekeeping cast members and everything like that on board. And the far section of the tower does have balconies that run down the whole length of it. And at one point in the grand opening, you all have watched it by now, but at one point in the grand opening, everyone kind of came out together, and seeing the behind the scenes is always special. So apparently there was either on the TVs, or they had a special radio box in each of those villas so that they could be hearing what was going on and know the appropriate time to kind of step out onto the balconies.
Yeah, but it was funny to watch them work on it and practice it. And at one point, like half the rooms were out, and they were like, "I need floor 6. Where's floor 6?" And so it was just funny to kind of watch that. And honestly, just seeing the cast members and how happy they looked to be part of that celebration, because it was like housekeeping staff and custodial staff and the type of cast members that don't normally get that kind of recognition.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it was awesome to see them be part of that opening ceremony.
And a lot of them, I've noticed throughout the day, they seem to have special new uniforms that are specific to the opening of the Disneyland Hotel. They all kind of have some variation of the Disneyland Hotel logo that they're using for the villas here. So then we watched the grand opening celebration. That was just as great as watching it the 3 times before. I hope you all enjoyed it, enjoyed the live stream. Let us know in the comments what you thought of the grand opening. But
yeah, and shout out to all the people we met today from the DVC fan community.
Yeah.
Just thank you so much for stopping and saying hello, and those that hung out with us while we watched the opening ceremonies. And we've just had a great time just meeting you guys. And Paul and I are honestly, we are introverts at heart.
Very much
so. I'm not brave enough. I would not be brave enough to go up to someone that I've watched. Not that we're not celebrities in any way, but just thank you for coming up and talking to us and making it so easy. Meet you.
Just being a part of the DVC fan community has really helped me kind of open up. I know someone on YouTube the other day said, Paul's really coming out of his shell in the new era of DVC fan. And it's like, well, yeah, I am, because I'm meeting more people, and that is something that, has never been easy for me. I'm happy on the couch with my new coffee mug and my dogs and my wife. And that does it for me. But I've always been very introverted, so it's been wonderful making so many new friends as part of this process. We hung out with Arthur and I forget his wife's name,
Lena.
Arthur and Lena
Yeah.
all day, and that's been wonderful. Arthur and Lena reached out to us early on and let us know that they were going to be here for the grand opening weekend as well. They are in a duo studio, which is why you were able to see a duo studio today. So special shout out to them for letting us into that room. They are also in a 2-bedroom tomorrow. So we are going to film a 2-bedroom tomorrow, thanks to Arthur and Lena as well. So just another, amazing opportunity to meet people, and it's just been great seeing all those faces, even the people that just walk by and wave, from afar. I appreciate that and I respect that because you're probably just as introverted as I am, and I'm scared to go up to people, just like you said.
Yeah. And then when the people there are just like, hi, like someone walked by and mouthed my name, they were just like, Amy, and I was just like, hi, and I didn't want to like push it farther because they kept walking, but so I didn't be like, wait, come back, let me talk to you. But thank you.
Yeah, no, it's been wonderful and we love meeting you all. So please, if you guys do ever see us out and about in the parks or at the resorts or anything like that, please say hi. We love hearing the stories of members and how we've helped you along that path. I think that's what touches me the most, is so many people saying you're the reason why we got into Disney Vacation Club, or you're the reason why we added on or considered it, or I convinced my significant other to purchase points, or whatever the story might be, because that's honestly the key to why we do this, is that I feel like a broken record when I say it, but at the heart of what we do, we want to educate you in this community about Disney Vacation Club and educate you on how to use those points. And I even say this when I talk to people on the phone at rental store. I'm like, call us if you have a question about using your membership, because we want you to make sure you know how to use it and you use it to its maximum capabilities. Because then if you aren't, then you get upset with it. Like it's something that is not enjoyable, and you're not getting into the resort at the 7-month window or the 11-month window or whatever it might be. So
yeah, and there's no official guidebook when you buy in.
No.
Like there's no
guidebook whatsoever. Yeah,
no direction.
No, yeah. So they take your money and then they say, here you go, have fun. We've done our part. But yeah, so we watched the grand opening. From there, we actually went down and sat on a bench outside, basically from where the main entrance to the villas are, and we were there for
a couple hours.
Hours.
You did some editing.
I had my AirPods in and edited the video that went up for the Disneyland resort tour that we did yesterday, because I knew I had a busy editing day in front of us. So sat there, did that, watched people come and go, watched executives come and go. A lot of people began to they had security basically right at the end there. I feel like they should have put like a barrier or something, a temporary barrier in place, because the poor security lady, like every minute and a half, had to tell someone, I don't think you're going to be able to get into the villas until 2:00. And that ended up being the case, right on the dot, actually.
Yes, there was a line that formed a couple minutes before, and then right at 2:00 that they let everybody in. Yeah. And that was a very exciting moment. There was just, there was a lot of cast members kind of lined up going, welcome home, come on in. And just seeing everyone walking in. And you guys saw, I did a couple of quick videos. Patreon only lets you, if you're not doing it on YouTube, it can only be 2 minutes long. So I tried to keep everything 2 minutes long so I could just fit it really quickly on Patreon. Otherwise, it'll take my phone years to upload. But just seeing everyone walking in, everyone's so excited, having their cameras out, wanting to get that first moment of walking in, whether it was for a channel or for their own personal Facebook or friends. And then just hearing when everyone walked in, just going, oh wow, like this is so cute and so pretty. And it's not going to be a grand lobby, it's not going to be Grand Floridian or Jumbo House, because it is just it's a one building as part of a larger resort, right? And so, but with the space that It's beautiful.
I would argue it's more profound than the main lobby here at the Disneyland Hotel. Really,
Yeah.
there's some special stuff that they have there. Right now, it's Halloween themed, but there's special meaning to everything that they've done in this resort, from the animation to the artwork that's downstairs. We did see the art display that is part of the photos that hopefully many of you also took or sent in as part of that mural to be a part of the opening weekend here. So that is actually on display right as you walk in, and it will take us a good hour.
I know. I wanted to look for our picture. So we actually should have two because I submitted one. It was us at Disneyland.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. With our friends Jeff and Dan, I submitted that one because you could submit online. But then when we were in the member lounge, the day we filmed the first Food and Wine Festival, and there was like 12 of us in the picture. We all tried to squeeze in and did it in that kiosk. That one. So there should be two. But I couldn't even begin to look. We just didn't have the time.
And some of them you can see very well because of the color that it is on. So it's I think it makes up basically what this headboard is behind you. To a degree. It's
got
very similar
stripes
to that.
of darker and so the white stripes are a little harder to see the pictures, and then the darker stripes are a little easier. Yeah. So it just depends on where your photo's at. But
we may spend some more time down there. We got 2 days, so we may spend some more time staring at it. But there's that artwork. There's the lovely mural that was part of the lead up to the villas here. Do you remember who?
Oh goodness, no, I had it, and it was an interesting name, but it was just super super pretty. It had all kinds of Disney characters in it. And it's so bright and so colorful, which is just the continuing theme. And then that lounge area to when you walk into the right that has that fireplace going, and you know, in the middle it's like a double-sided fireplace. That area was really cool, and
lots of areas there too to just chill out. Comfortable seating, couches, chairs. There's a little bit of a table or a desk area that has some chargers built in. So if you need like a comfortable place to have a cup of coffee and do some work.
Lauren De La Cruz commented on the photo for that and said that it looked like the lounge at Riviera. Is it called Voyagers Lounge or something like that? Yep. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but it did kind of remind me of that. Oh, this space in the tower was a lot bigger. Yeah. Very open, a lot of seating and windows to look out too.
And if you guys have questions, be sure to put them in the comments right now. We will get to as many as possible as part of this special Patreon exclusive live stream. If you're listening to this a week later, we'll try to answer your comments via text in the comments as well if you have comments about any of the villas or anything. But
and Lauren did verify Voyagers Lounge, so that's it. I don't know if that's what I said or not. I can't remember.
It's been a day.
Oh, and someone else knew the mural artist, Lorelei, sorry if we pronounced that wrong, Bobe. And that is exactly what it was.
Yeah. So we walked through there, this was the part of the day where Amy and I kind of went our separate ways. So I don't know where you went, but I was getting B-roll and other footage.
I went straight out to the pool because I was trying to get photos before everyone jumped in it.
Which they did that.
They did. Like literally.
I guess people are just here to enjoy themselves and be on vacation. I mean, I guess that's the point of being a DVC
literally
member.
Minutes into opening, the splash pad was full of children.
It's
which
like
that
everyone
makes sense.
had like those Snap clothing outfits on. And it was like, I'm done. I'm going in the pool.
And there were people already swimming, like minutes into it opening. So that was kind of funny, but so I went straight out to the pool area. Paul stayed in the lobby area and
divide and conquer.
And I love the pool area. It's so cool, and it just feels so special to the DVC area because it's kind of surrounded by the building and it's separate from the main pool and everything. And it was just so bright and colorful. I've said those words a million times, but they had that, I don't even know what it was, but this walkway area. And I posted some pictures and stuff of it, and they had all these colors above it, and the panels were kind of like translucent, so the sun shined kind of through them, and the colors you could see on the walkway as well because of the way the sun was hitting them. And just they had all this, lots of seating, just lounge chairs with cushions and other types of chairs under that colorful thing. And then they had like couch, like conversational sets. And they were in an area that was surrounded by palm trees. So it was just so pretty and shaded. I don't know, just really, they did a really great job with the pool area.
I think the pool is called like the palette pool here, which it is designed to look like a paint palette or an artist palette coming down. But all of the colors, from Amy said, the translucent panels that kind of provide some shade, but on the ground, they provide that effect of various colors. So cool. And then Steamboat Willie is just...
I know. Steamboat Willie is like right under Wally in terms of Paul's favorite characters.
I want to go out there at like 10 o'clock. We brought our bathing suits, and I want to go out there at like 10 o'clock tonight if no kids are there and play. Like, it would be very strange if a grown man is playing there any other time. But, it's so cool. And his ship has a smokestack that has a steam element to it. So occasionally there will be steam.
It's actually just like water, like misty water, but it looks like steam. It's really cool. But if you're walking through, so I was walking through with my like camera, like videoing things when it was going off, and it was just all these like water droplets got all over me. But it was cool to see.
One thing, speaking of just that area, before we go further, there is the Garden Duo Studios and basically Deluxe Studios that are out in there. So they are a separate building from the main building here at the Villas at Disneyland Hotel, and they are rather close to the pool area. So kind of what we thought going in. We'll wait to hear some feedback. We know that I believe Arthur and Hannah have one of those.
Yep, not tomorrow, but the day after.
Yeah, the day after that. So I'll be curious to hear from them as to whether or not it is a little bit noisier there. I assume it quiets off in the evening, but the perk of those is the balcony. Yeah. So at least you do get that balcony, which we do miss with our Deluxe studio so far. But we did all of that, and then we got that text that our room was ready. And we
before you go there, just because it kind of goes along with what we were talking about, Sheila asked if there was a little shop or somewhere to purchase snacks or drinks, or is it only the main building? In the pool area, there's nowhere to walk up to, but on every like lounge table was a pool bar menu. And today, especially, the cast members were going around, what can I get you? Can I get you anything? And I did post the entire menu. If you look at the Patreon post with all the photos, I'm pretty sure I put it in there. I put the menu in there. So there was like a drinks page. They had lots of different drinks. There was a food. All the food was Hawaiian themed. So there was like a poke bowl. There was a salad.
I have to imagine. Yeah, most of it's probably coming from Tangaroa Terrace.
Yeah, it probably. There was a dish that had, like, you could have, like, a rib or a teriyaki chicken thigh, and it came with rice and macaroni salad. Macaroni salad is, like, a very Hawaiian thing. So I thought that sounded really good. There was a couple other things. It was, like, a Hawaiian burger. So you could order those food things at the pool. At this time, there's nowhere to walk up to, but I would imagine that they would also be serving them at the bar. When the bar opens, there was a bar area that was in that pass-through, but it was behind construction walls, and we think that it's obviously been delayed. We think because when they got behind, that was one of the things that they maybe said, we're going to have to wait to open this. So I would imagine that menu also, you'd be able to order at that bar as well. So you can get food here at the villas, but it is just that option, just the pool menu right now. But it still looks like a really good menu.
Yeah, and we've heard the delay on the bar area is about a month at this point, so we'll be curious to see when that opens. But and also to that as well in the rooms, as we kind of transition to that, there
that is
room
good
service menus that are in the rooms, and very similar types of stuff. A little bit more basic here. So, for breakfast, you've got fruit plates, you've got American breakfast pancakes. For dinner, you've got, wings, salads, pizzas, club sandwich, cheeseburger.
Chicken schnitzel.
Chicken schnitzel kind of sticks out. And the Wagyu ribeye with shrimp scampi for $75.
I know.
If I'm spending $75, it is not going to be on a meal.
Room service.
That is delivered to my...
But they do have a lot. Ribs, salmon, bologna, rigatoni, bolognese. And you can order dinner between 5 and midnight. So that's a pretty good.
Yeah.
And then 5 p.m. and midnight. Breakfast is 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. So it doesn't appear that there's anything in between for lunch. But you could go out to the pool bar. So you can get room service here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm hungrier now than when I started.
I know, we're starving. Somebody asked earlier in the comments, where's dinner? We have no idea because we didn't know, how much we were going to be working and editing, so we have nothing planned. So if you are us and you have no dining reservation right now and you have no park passes or anything, we can't go into the parks till tomorrow, where would you eat dinner? So just let us know in the comments and we'll have to look at those.
We've not talked about this at all. Corey asked, have you had an old fashioned yet? No, I'm living on caffeine today. I would love an old fashioned or a nice IPA or something at this point would be wonderful. That's the game plan for after we finish here. But we did have a reservation yesterday previously at Jazz Kitchen, and we had an amazing dinner there when it was at Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen on our first trip ever to Disneyland. And we might go see if we can walk up there.
I know. I love the menu, even though the building's changed. It doesn't look the same and it's rebranded. But if that is an option, that's a possibility.
Yeah. People are talking about the lounge at the old Steakhouse 55 location. Steakhouse 55 is currently closed, and the signs have all been removed. So it doesn't look like anything is coming back to that space currently, and they were utilizing that space, I believe, as a special reception area for a lot of the executives that were here today. So I don't know that the lounge or anything associated with that is open currently. So we can definitely go check that out. Keith said go to the Grand Californian Craftsman Bar for dinner. We originally were going to go there yesterday, but canceled that because we were dragging, and I think our reservation was like 7:30.
Yeah.
We were in bed by 8, if you forget by that.
We didn't make it.
We weren't gonna make it that far.
We ended up getting tacos at the, oh my gosh, I don't even know what, Tortilla Joe's, but the quick service, Taqueria or Taqueria or however you pronounce that place.
Yeah, which that was wonderful.
It was actually really good.
That was super good. So we did our sort of resort tour area of the villas at Disneyland Hotel and then made our way up to the rooms. First up, we hit up the Duo Studio, and it's small.
Yes.
It feels smaller than Riviera. And I know that someone earlier in the comments asked that question, but that was the first takeaway, is it felt like a closet.
I think a big part of why it feels smaller than a Riviera is because there's no balcony. So the balcony at Riviera kind of extends your living space, and there's no balcony. So you're just cut off at the window, Yep. And then in addition to that, I think the bathroom is a little smaller than the one at Riviera.
I feel like the bathroom at Riviera is like a secondary living space. Like if you need more room, just someone sleep on the floor in the bathroom in there. If you like a hard mattress, you'd be fine. But I was very surprised at the size, and it does feel a little bit cut off because of the
definitely cute, definitely pretty, but just a little bit too small for us, I think. I wouldn't even know where to put our huge suitcases that we have with us.
Nope. Nope. Because you can't hide them under a bed or anything. But we kind of had that. We had that same problem in the Riviera Tower Studio, but we were able to. There is a nice sort of closet space that was in the bathroom, and we were able to set them up.
It was a good size closet,
and fit our suitcases in there.
And there is no actual built-in closet here. It's like a furniture piece.
You
wardrobe.
Can talk about it, and I'll kind of try to show it here.
It's very similar to what we have here, except the one in the Tower Studio is also smaller. And so you have this little slidey spot. Now think if that was like half the size, and that's what the Duo Studio has on the slidey end. And Paul's gonna break the mirror.
I have to come back at this point because I'm already very concerned about this because you have to get it all the way back to where it came from to actually open the second part, which I'll show you here in a second. But I did not have it closed when we were in the Duo Studio all the way, and you can't get the door open. So yeah. I'm not quite sure how long these things are going to last.
Right, yeah, if the mirror is going to get broken. That's a valid concern. And then there's this section. Now, ours is also bigger. The one in the Duo is smaller than that. But that's what you have in the Duo Studio, a smaller version of that. And it's nice for what it is. Like, you know what you're getting into when you go to one of those smaller studios. You know, only 2 people, limited space. It's cute and it's lower points than, you know, like a deluxe studio. So I'm not knocking the room at all. Just be aware that it does feel a little smaller than the Riviera Tower studios.
Yeah, the other thing we noticed in the Duo Studio was that there is artwork over the sitting areas in both the Deluxe Studio and the Duo Studio. So there's 3 pieces of artwork that match whatever the theme was. So over at the Duo Studio, the theme was... I don't even remember now.
They're all Jungle Book.
Jungle Book.
Yeah, because the Duo Studio is the bare necessities. Like, you're getting the bare necessities. So those don't change.
I see what you did there, DVC.
But the Deluxe Studios do have different themes depending on where you're at. Someone said there's going to be a lot of fingerprints on that mirror. Yes, when we were in Arthur and Lena's room and we were moving it around to film, I was like, oh my goodness, I don't want to leave fingerprints on their brand new room. So I was trying to wipe them off because my fingerprints were all over their mirror. So hopefully, I'm sorry, Arthur and Lena, hopefully I cleaned it okay with my shirt because that's all I had. But yes, fingerprints for sure.
They're gonna build up there very quickly. But so the artwork that's above like the little sitting area in both of these rooms, it looked like they had said,
Someone said Jungle Book. Did I say Jungle Cruise? I probably said Jungle Cruise, didn't I? Anyways, Jungle Book.
I don't know. You called something that was blue-red earlier. So
I did.
Get ready, Patreon, for some amazing bloopers
from
me.
You don't realize that when the camera comes on, there are words that you know and you say all the time that just leave your brain, that just fall out.
What was the most recent Vero Beach video that went up? You called
I called a coffee mug a coffee pot.
You called a coffee mug coffee pot. Today you called the toaster a toaster oven.
I did. Yes, I heard that. And I didn't hear it until we went to the video. It was already on YouTube. And I was like, oh, that's not a toaster oven.
I try to catch as much of it as I can, but I'm also kind of just in the zone, like producing behind the scenes when we do these. So
it is what it is.
But anyhow, they said, we hung this artwork too low, so let's move it up. So they moved it up. But then they left the old holes in the drywall anchors in the wall. At that point, you're there, touch up that stuff, but...
Spackle that wall.
Yeah, just a little bit of spackle and a little bit of paint to touch that up.
Yeah,
but
that was a little bit of a miss. But
that was a miss.
I'm willing to believe that might have just been an accident, that they forgot to come back and do that one room, that they moved the photos.
As Sheila said, though, I am a little bit worried about that mirror on the closet and maintenance issues with that long term. But otherwise, Duo Studio was great. It definitely for the points, it's great. I think for locals that are looking for a cheap weekend here at the Disneyland Resort. So we then went upstairs to our Deluxe Studio, and complete opposite here. I'm noticing it again right now, and I said it earlier as well as part of the vlog that we'll have. But it is cavernous. It is.
It almost sounds echoey in here. Because of how, I don't know we'll have to look at
so much room for activities.
There's a lot of room. You could do cartwheels behind us here.
I won't.
If we knew how, neither of us have any of those skills.
I don't bend that way, no.
But it's big and it's kind of echoey. And until they brought their stuff up, I felt like we were sitting in this big empty room, even though it's got furniture and stuff and it's very pretty. But yeah, it's a nice size. And if you have 4 people, which is the max that it sleeps, you're probably going to be more comfortable than some of the other DVC studios. So really am impressed with the space here.
Yeah, I am very happy that we ended up going with the Deluxe Studio for our 2 nights
Yeah.
here. I think it's plenty of space for us, and the bathroom's wonderful. The toilet, essentially toilet closet, so there is a
Yeah.
door that kind of separates that off. Your biggest,
Yeah, my biggest complaint is that there's no bathtub, and I love taking a hot bath at the end of a long day, and
like
it's
today.
like today would have been great, especially since it's cold outside, or at least to me it's cold outside. So I'm a little sad about the lack of a bathtub, which I can't think of any other deluxe studio in DVC that doesn't have a bathtub. Can you?
Or at least doesn't have the option as like the category or something.
Well, yeah. So Copper Creek,
Copper
you have
Creek.
that option as
Yeah.
a booking category. So that's my only real disappointment. And I missed the balcony, but I can get over it because the view is very nice and the windows are very large. But I do miss that bathtub. So just be aware of that, especially if you have little kids and you require a bathtub. That is something. The Duo Studios only have a shower, the same as Riviera Tower Studios, but the Deluxe Studios, at least ours, only has a shower. And from what I've seen pictures, I've only seen showers as well in the Deluxe Studios. So unless there's other ones out there that we haven't seen yet, you probably are going to get a shower.
Yeah, Keith mentioned that putting that kitchenette on the bathroom walls frees up a bunch of space. It totally does.
That's probably what it is.
Normally it's kind of that. I don't know if it's a galley kitchen or whatever, but it's in the hallway and it's stuck there and it kind of sticks out and it takes up more of the space within the room. And so this definitely just kind of slimlines the
That's a good
product
point, Keith.
there. And then also, Jay Ware also said parents with kids won't like the shower only.
Right.
And I would agree with that.
Mhm.
I wonder if some of the thought process with the resort is a lot of, locals coming here, maybe just two people. I don't know. I don't know what the thought process is. There's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff that I think in the design phase of a resort sounds good. Resort? Did I say resort? I don't know. In the design phase of resort sounds good, but when it comes to the functionality and the practicality of it, like the mirror and things like that, it just doesn't work out all that well. So, but we're gonna love staying in this room for the next 2 nights. Very happy that we're here. And yeah, it's been a crazy whirlwind of a day, but I wouldn't change anything about it. It was super exciting being around so many people that are just excited about the new the new villas here.
Sheila said, when you post your official video tour of your room, I hope you show what the view looks like. Sheila, yes, that tour is actually already up on YouTube along with the Duo Studio, and we do show the views from both rooms. The Duo Studio is actually 3 floors above us. They were on floor 12, and we are on floor 9. So they got a little bit of a higher view, but they're closer. So they don't. I think we have a little bit of a better view just because we're out more, so we can see a better angle.
Yeah, we have a. Sorry, I'm looking out there now and getting distracted. We have a little bit better angle, but so we are facing into California Adventure.
Oh, I can see
So
Cars Land.
You can see Cars Land not only lit up, but lit up
For
because tonight is an
Halloween.
Oogie Boogie Bash
Oh
night.
no, that just makes me sad
And
because we
it
couldn't get
is-
tickets.
It has got purple and green colors on it. Also, currently going up the side of the
Yeah, what is that?
of the Guardians building. So Mission Breakout is currently on lockdown because it is Monsters After Dark. So
We
it
get to
is-
ride that though, right?
We do get to ride
Yeah,
that.
that's
It's not
just-
exclusive just to the parties, but they've got some special lighting going on there, so we can see right into California Adventure from here. Can't see. We're not at the right angle, I don't think, for the actual like Pixar Pier area, so we wouldn't be able to see World of Color from this angle all that well. And then also Disneyland's kind of blocked by the other buildings here. We might have to stick our head out there and see if we can see fireworks or anything in that direction a little bit later. But that side we can currently see all the way down into the rest of the resort. So we can see the feature pool. I think it's like the D ticket or what A ticket and B, I forget what the tickets are for the pools, but we can see the entire pool area for the main Disneyland Hotel. The other side is the new pool as part of the villas. And so, yeah, I love the view. I just wish I had a balcony to go out on and enjoy it.
Yeah,
So.
and Vogel Jazz Fan asked if it says curious to know if we're able to see fireworks. We'll have to find
Check back
out.
and let you know.
We're not sure yet.
I may try to set up like a camera for like a time lapse or something if we leave.
Yeah.
And see if we can catch them. Last night they were at 9:30 p.m. I think, so probably around the same time if they're doing them tonight. Disneyland does. They don't always do fireworks on every night, but we'll have to check the schedule and see if they are. So as we're getting close to wrapping up, it's been about an hour here. If you guys have any other questions about the villas, please put them in the comments and we'll get to as many of them as we can. One of the questions that came up a little bit earlier is kind of what the rest of our plans are for the remainder of the weekend. We are going to Disneyland tomorrow. Tomorrow we have California Adventure planned. So if we rope drop it, that'll be a miracle, but that's kind of the plan, is to go in on the early resort hours and get as much as we can ride as many things as we possibly can. We've got some brunch planned at Lamplight Lounge.
Yeah.
And we've done dinner there before, but we've never done the brunch, and I've heard some great things there. So we're meeting some friends for brunch at Lamplight Lounge. We then probably at that point will have to head back this way because we have our open house where we will get to see the other rooms and hopefully get into that 2-bedroom as well and get that room tour done so that we can share that with you all. But we'll get to see at least a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, all of those, and at least get maybe not like the wonderful Amy Krieger room tours, as I refer to them as, but maybe just kind of some background music. And
it might be a little quicker, just because there'll probably be a lot of other people around.
A lot of people around trying
we
to
don't want to impede on their experience, too.
Yeah. Excuse us, we're filming. So we got that planned, and then probably back over to California Adventure for the rest of the evening tomorrow night. Well, I bought park hopper tickets, but I don't know why I did because I feel like we're gonna kind of do one
we
park
should
and
have
then
thought
the other.
that through.
So California Adventure then tomorrow night. Maybe do World of Color one. Not sure if we'll see that or not. I was not a big World of Color fan the first time we saw it. It's cute. It's special. I love the characters on the water screens and everything, but I don't know if the new one is doing enough new stuff that I'm excited to see it. But we definitely want to do Monsters After Dark, which I think starts after 3 p.m., I believe someone told me today.
Oh, okay.
So
well, that's not bad.
we'll have to make sure that we wait to do that. But then the next day, we actually check out of the villas here at Disneyland Hotel, which is sad because I don't think we'll want to leave. And we are going to the Sheraton for the last night of our stay. But we'll probably just store our luggage and everything here.
Yeah.
And then Uber. Literally, that's just going to be a room the night before we leave.
Yeah.
But we are going to Disneyland Park for the entire day on Saturday. We are excited to check out Tiana's because that is the newest dining over at Disneyland. We're going to kind of probably do like a vlog or something that day to just take you along for our Disneyland day with us. We're going to go to the Starview Lounge, which is the new Disney Vacation Club lounge in Disneyland, and that'll be on a video as well to share with you all because anything Disney Vacation Club, you can bet we're going to find, and we're going to talk about it. So
yeah, and I'm excited just to ride a few things that we haven't for a long time.
Yeah.
The overlay at Haunted Mansion Holiday, we haven't seen that since 2019, and then the Matterhorn we also haven't ridden since 2019 because it was closed for refurbishment when we were here last year.
Yeah, and I remember being very torn up over Magic Happens, the parade, which if anyone doesn't follow Disneyland stuff as much as our Disney World stuff, Magic Happens was a parade that launched at Disneyland, I want to say like 2 weeks before the pandemic shut down.
Yeah.
It was very, very soon before everything shut down. And it was like, here's this brand new parade that's awesome, has an amazing soundtrack, amazing new floats. And then it just goes dark for almost a year and a half or more. And so they brought it back, and I'm very excited to actually see that in person.
Yeah, so we're gonna see the parade. We're gonna get a free chiropractic adjustment on the Matterhorn, and we're gonna see Haunted Mansion Holiday and whatever else we can ride. But yeah, super excited to get into the parks the next 2 days. Hopefully it's not too crazy. I know it's gonna be a weekend, but that's just the way it worked out.
Let's see, any questions that we have here? Vocal Jazz Fan said, go to Hearthstone at Grand Cal. You won't need a reservation. Great lounge food. We actually walked in there yesterday.
Yeah.
And had a drink with a friend and had a wonderful experience. And so that was amazing. We had never been in that space. I don't even think the first time.
No, we've never been there until yesterday. Yeah, so we got a couple drinks. We didn't get any food in there, but some of the people around us had food, and those garlic knot things that they were eating looked so good. It was like dough ball garlic.
Yeah. Shout out to Peter Gardner, who actually we bumped into. We had no plan to meet up with him. And I was watching the piano player play in the Grand Cal lobby. Amy was off taking pictures of something else. And all of a sudden, I saw him walk by because we've met Peter on multiple other occasions. We actually were on a cruise with him before. And there he was. And I was like, Peter. And so he invited us into the lounge for a drink. And we sat and chatted with him for a little bit. So definitely a very cute space in Grand Cal. And so really enjoyed that. We may have to head back. Who knows? We may have to head back that way tonight. Let's see. Who else has some questions here? Dennis O'Brien asked, please let us know if they have any different DVC merch at Disneyland compared to Walt Disney World. So there is all of the stuff that is related to the grand opening of the villas here at Disneyland Hotel. Other DVC merch at Disneyland Hotel, I didn't
it's the same stuff. Same stuff that's everywhere. The same Spirit jersey that I have, that red one that is everywhere.
A couple unique things, and you got one of them.
Yes. Grand Cal does have a few things, and we walked into that gift shop so many times wanting good Grand Cal merch, and they've never really had anything. So they finally had a few things. It wasn't a ton, but they do have a zip up just like this that I bought. It's in my suitcase. I would never be able to get it out in time to show you, but they had that. It says Villas at Grand Californian on the back. It says Disney Vacation Club on the front in this area. And they also had sweatpants that said Villas at Grand Cal and DVC. Yeah, so those were two things. I don't remember anything else like that, but we also, I think there was a Grand Cal magnet. They weren't specific to DVC or the villas, but there was some other like Grand Cal merchandise there.
Yeah.
That was about it. The Disneyland Hotel gift shops had some Disneyland Hotel specific merch, but the DVC merch was all just the stuff that's at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, I'm very hopeful that maybe this makes a new kind of Disney Vacation Club / resort branded merch line, because they did say they did not have your size when you were looking.
Yeah.
And they went into the back and they made a comment saying that this merch line was new. And so there's that. There's now the Disneyland.
Yeah.
Either they're just boosting up the merch here on the West Coast because they know, Disney Vacation Club, we're excited about it. We've got 2 Disney Vacation Club properties now. Maybe that's it, or maybe we see some of this stuff come to Walt Disney World in the near future as well. But honestly, let California have it. This place has been wanting some DVC love and all of that for some time. I know I talked to someone earlier today just about how, even 2 properties doesn't feel like it's enough out here. We'll have to see what happens, how quickly Disneyland Hotel sells. Someone asked in the comments earlier tonight, how is it selling? I think that early on there was some extreme buzz about this and a lot of members that were very excited about it. But now they're going to get into that period of time where they need to sell it to people that are coming to Disneyland, people that come here a couple times a year that are locals and want to stay close to the parks. And I think the argument that you're going to have that's going to be a hard sell is you do have good neighbor hotels like the Westin that are relatively cheap to get into. And so it makes that DVC math a little bit different, especially when this property is one of the premier $230 per point ones.
Yeah, and that is exactly it. Because at Disney World, the close resorts are the Disney resorts, and the deluxe resorts are very expensive. So buying DVC makes sense if you want to stay in the deluxe resorts. But here, you can stay at luxury resorts for a lot lower because the Westin was a luxury resort, and we could walk here really easily. But there is a difference. You're not in that Disney bubble. Now, the Disney bubble isn't really as important at Disneyland just because you can still walk from many of the Good Neighbor hotels. So it's a little bit different. But I agree with Paul. I do think that, having it open, having people be able to see it. And did you notice, I walked down one of the hallways on the first floor, and there were some of the rooms had clear doors. I believe that they have built those showrooms into the building to where those are like permanent showrooms. So they definitely, it's open now. They can show people the rooms, everything pretty much with the Grand Villa, I think. But that is going to maybe help boost sales. But, who knows? Who knows? I never thought it was going to sell out incredibly quick. I thought there was a lot of excitement over it. I thought the bulk of the excitement were existing members. And obviously, existing members are also very well educated. And the transient tax was something that when that came out, a lot of existing members that were very interested said, you know what, never mind. I'm going to go buy Grand Cal, or I'm going to go buy more points at Disney World.
Keith just sort of made that comment as you were talking about it. He said, I saw Grand Cal post today for $295. I think Disneyland Hotel pushed the Grand Cal prices back up to where they were.
Mm-hmm.
And exactly, it was the transient tax. The buzz about this place was extremely high. And then the transient tax thing came out, and overnight you saw Grand Cal prices soar. The DVC resale market could not keep Grand Cal contracts on the board for a period of time there just because of how quickly they were flying off. Now, I see both sides of the story because Grand Cal does have a transient tax. It's just baked into your annual dues, so it's kind of hidden in there, and it's also locked in, I think, to previous legislation and the rules that were established when Grand Cal originally went on sale, when its original POS or point of sale agreement was issued. And so it's there, but it's not as in your face as it is here or like at a lobby.
It also feels cheaper at Grand Cal.
It does.
But even though we pay it no matter what, even if we rent the points out or don't use them, you're still paying it because we're paying it in our dues. But it does feel like a lot less than here. In both the tour videos we published today on YouTube, the Duo Studio and the Deluxe Studio, we talk about the prices of the transient tax, and I read to you a couple of the, like, it's this much a night for this room, it's this much a night. It added up, and I told Paul, so we actually had to pay cash for this room for the 2 nights, so we already paid that tax as part of the cash. But I said, if we were staying here on points, we would owe $80-something at the end of these 2 nights. And that does feel kind of rough to, you're used to being DVC, you're used to checking out. We often have zero balance on our hotel folio. So to have an extra $80 on there for 2 nights, I get that. Like that can be a little bit of a turnoff. Yeah. In the Grand Villa, I mean, there were some of the high point nights was like $500-something a night in taxes. That's obviously
a
if you can afford a Grand Villa, maybe but that still hurts. I mean that
Yeah. But to each their own. Mike mentioned in the comments a second ago. He doesn't mind. He just added on 150 points. And so if you do the math and it makes sense, which the math does still make sense at the end of the day, when you look at if you're a family that you're going to come here, you're going to come to Disneyland Resort at least once a year.
Oh yes. And paying the transient tax with your points, like paying for points and the transient tax, you're still spending heck of a lot less than if you are paying cash at the hotel at Grand Cal, you know what I mean? Like you're still paying a lot less. And if we had the opportunity to switch to using points tonight instead of cash, we would have done it in a heartbeat because it would have been a lot cheaper to walk out of here with an $80 tax bill than what we had to pay per night for this room. So I completely agree that the math can definitely work for you. It just was a turnoff for some people who were thinking about buying, I think. But It is beautiful, and what a great place to stay when you come to Disneyland.
Vocal Jazz Fan did say on Disboards they're reporting around 443,000 out of 3+ million points have sold, or about 13.6% of the inventory. It did sell very quickly, as with any new Disney Vacation Club property. That initial buzz really helps it get over that hurdle. There's an aggressive sales team here that. Aggressive, in parentheses, an excited sales team is probably a better word for it. New sales team here at Disneyland that is going to be trying to sell this property.
Yeah.
But in the back of my mind always lingers what Derek and what other direct guides who were here that sold Grand Cal points have told me time and time again, is that it struggled as it went on. And that, again, when you look at the Good Neighbor hotels, that's going to be kind of the news story that we're going to have to watch with Disneyland Hotel over the coming months, and see how quickly it does sell out. But if it does do so well, Disneyland Forward is coming very quickly. It's moving through its legislative approvals in Anaheim. That's going to take this whole area just south of us and a little bit north of us and make parts of it resort areas, and make parts of it rides and attractions. And so I have to imagine somewhere in that plan or in that mindset is other hotel properties, and maybe making parts of those properties Disney Vacation Clubs.
Yeah.
So anything that's a new Disney Vacation Club resort, I'm all for. So I hope it does extremely well. And it is a beautiful resort. It has been exciting to be here. I plan to hopefully book this at the 7-month window in the future, and get back here real soon.
Yeah, if you're thinking about buying and it works for you, and in the transient tax, it's just an optics for the most part.
Yeah.
It's just you're paying transient tax when you stay. We paid it at the Westin. It's just baked into the prices. So if you can get past that, it is extremely beautiful. It's just so pretty, and you just really get this is so well themed.
Mm-hmm.
And I said this I don't know when I said this, maybe a little bit ago or earlier in a different video, but a lot of people complain about some of the new refurbishments and how they're just very sterile, and they're very without character that Disney had before in the hotels. And I think that this is quite the opposite of that sterile. It is colorful, it's bright, it's beautiful. There are so many little touches that bring you to Sleeping Beauty, which is what our theme is. And then there's other studios that are like Princess of the Frog and different other ones. Just this wall that you can't see that's in front of us is so cool. This accent wall. And so
also, I've been sitting here thinking this the whole time, but the lighting that this mirror is doing for us right now is what I try to replicate in my office when we film shows.
It's just
or
a mirror.
videos. And I'm just like, okay, I just need to hang a big mirror with a light around it, because I feel like this light is great for us.
Yeah.
You're glowing. You're beautiful.
I know, right? It made my hair look kind of shiny. But this is so beautiful. So we can't say that enough. The views are great. Yeah, you don't have a balcony, but you got this beautiful big window. But yeah, that's about all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely that part of me is a little bit sad that we didn't buy in here and we bought it in Grand Cal, but I also really love Grand Cal, so it's it's hard. It's hard to decide.
It's a hard toss up, but we love coming to Disneyland. We love any opportunity to get out here on the West Coast. So we're gonna enjoy the next few days out here. Thank you, tremendous thank you to all of you that have tuned in to this live stream tonight, that are our Patreon supporters, our early Patreon supporters that we've launched. Patreon.com/DVC fan. If you're not already over there, you're going to get all kinds of behind the scenes content. We've got already some funny videos here from the past few days that we will put up there, and Amy's been putting all kinds of behind the scenes content We'll make sure to share some stuff, maybe some of the funny ride photos and things like that we do in the parks. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all of your love and support that you've shown us, and that you've shown us over the past few months as we embark on kind of I don't know, DVC Fan 2.0, whatever you want to call it, this new generation. If you are listening to this on Monday, this is our the DVC show that will go up the Monday after the grand opening. So I hope you enjoyed this look and this special treat of the villas at Disneyland Hotel and the grand opening here. We've had an amazing time covering it out here, and hope you enjoyed the amazing ride over the past few days, and enjoyed this video, because it is going to be an extra long episode of the DVC show. So as always, we hope you enjoyed it. We will see you again very soon for another episode. And again, thank you all to our amazing Patreon community and everyone, DVC Fan Facebook group, the people that have bumped into us, for your amazing support. And on that note, we're going to go find some dinner. So we will see you guys soon.